Let's now talk about all of the individual cues that really impact our own markets and everything that you should watch ahead of our trading session today. We have Ekta, Mangalam and Surbhi joining in with the trade setup and all of the individual names that could really be in focus today. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. Ekta, let me come to you first. After trading in a band for much of the day, we did see a pretty flat close. How's it looking this morning?
Thanks for that. Well, yesterday the markets did close in the green. Yes, the markets did give up gains towards the last 30 minutes of trade. But it seems as though the markets did shrug off the concerns over more of the default swaps in the US and the European banks. We saw that through the trading session in yesterday's trade. FIIs sold less than they have at least in the previous session. So they sold around 890 odd crores in yesterday's trade. And DIIs net bought close to around 2,000 odd crores, 1,800 odd crores to be precise. Now, the sentiment, it seems, has improved or continues to improve around what could be a possible banking crisis, which could now be controlled by the regulators. So, for example, we had a close in the US where the Dow closed nearly 200 points higher. Largely, it was a mixed close, but the Dow rallied. We have Asia higher as investors' fears on the bank turmoil seems to be easing. So, it's largely higher in this morning's trade. And gold has slipped, which indicates that there is a risk of sentiment taking place, and oil has risen. So all this seems to be boding well for our markets. Let's see whether we manage to build on gains from yesterday's trading session and whether or not there is any kind of profit booking at higher levels. Now, in terms of a couple of things to watch for, broader markets which underperformed in yesterday's trading session, follow on buying in probably the pharmaceutical and healthcare space. The Nifty bank, which closed flat after trading in a range of more than 400 odd points, so maybe some amount of stability and buying there. Remember, it's overall a holiday shortened week. We have March expiry on Wednesday, so all of these factors will come into play in today's trading session. Lastly, just keep your eye out on what's happening with regards to the COVID-19 cases on the fringe. That could be something that one needs to monitor.
All right, Ekta, thanks a lot for laying out all of those cues for us. We're going to track everything that you just pointed out. But let's also talk about the individual names, because there was quite a bit of stock-specific news that also came post-market close yesterday. So Surbhi is here with that entire list. Surbhi?
Hi, good morning. The first one up on my radar is Aditya Birla Capital. The company is going to divest its entire stake in Aditya Birla Insurance Broking for an enterprise value of 455 crores. Next is Phoenix Mills, where the Canadian pension plan is going to invest a second tranche of investment worth 160 crores in the subsidiary Plutocrat Commercial Real Estate Private Limited. The first tranche of 790 crores was completed in November of 2021. Next is Adani Power, where the Supreme Court dismisses Customs Department's appeal against Adani Power Maharashtra. SJVN, the company secures green financing worth 915 crores from Japan Bank for International Corporation. PNC Infratech, the company emerges as the lowest bidder for a project worth 820 crores. And lastly, the Buildcon, the company emerges as the lowest bidder for an NHAI project worth 780 crores.
All right, those are some individual stocks that you should have on your radar today. Surbhi, thanks a lot for filling us in with that list. Finally, it's over to Mangalam, who's looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, looks like the start will be positive, but take us through everything we should track.
Yes, the start will be positive as the SGX Nifty indicates. But if you just take a look at the way the markets moved yesterday, towards the latter half of trade, we did get a bit of a dip from the highs on the Nifty. But all said and done, the Nifty was actually outperforming the Nifty Bank, and that's what data suggested as well. The FIs at the end of the day bought about 3,200 crores in index futures, and most of that money was directed towards the Nifty as against the Nifty Bank, where it's only 800 crores worth buying, whereas the Nifty saw 2,500 crores worth buying. If you just take a look at what they did in index futures, they covered 31,000 short contracts, because now a firm support at the lower level has been established between 16,900 and 17,000, as a result of which the FII longs jumped to 17% from 13%, and that's good news for all those who are seeking some sort of support. In index options as well, one day ahead of expiry, FIs bought more calls than puts, hoping for a bit of an upside. However, as far as option writing is concerned, they wrote both calls as well as puts at an equal level, and in fact at the equal strike as well. 17,000 now remains the fulcrum of the market. If you just take a look at the action in the 17,000 put as well as the 17,000 call. Both of them together have a premium of 150 odd rupees. So those who are writing this, 17,000 straddle, which is a call and a put together, are hoping for a range of 16,850 on the lower level and 17,150 at the higher level. And that's pretty much, the range where the market meandered around yesterday as well. Yesterday's high was closer to 17,100 and low was closer to 16,900. For the Nifty Bank, important to cross the 200-day moving average where it is facing some sort of resistance as yesterday's high would indicate. But towards the last hour, I will also watch out for the mid-cap index because it's the first time that the mid-cap index has its weekly options expiry today on Wednesday.
All right, we will watch for that. Mangalam, thanks a lot for running us through all of those cues. But with that, we do need to get into a short break on this show. But on the other side, we're going to take you through the latest on the COVID-19 situation in India as active cases surge above 10,000. Stay tuned for all of the details.